Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. The session is about to start. We request everyone to please stand for the entrance of the maze with the Honorable Presiding Officer.
The 27th regular session of the 10th Sangguniang Panglungsod is now called to order. We are requesting the Secretary to the Sangguniang for the roll call and determination of quorum.
The attendance for this afternoon's regular session: the regular presiding officer, Honorable Evalere E. Estabilio, is present. Honorable Leo D. Revita is present. Honorable Meliton D. Lemos is present. Honorable Shara Isabel Uy Salazar is present. Honorable Vreni Jem O. Kaasi is present. Honorable Agripino G. Coquilla Jr. is present. Honorable Rex Jasper R. Aala is present. Honorable Romeo L. Catayas is present. Honorable Catherine S. Elliott is present. Honorable Edmark O. Wakan is present. Honorable Arthur V. Ong Jr. is present. Honorable Datu Eric I. Perez is present. Honorable Roan Angela G. Rillion is present. Honorable Bethovin S. Rubinos is present. Madam Presiding Officer, there is a perfect attendance. There is a quorum, Madam.
There being a quorum, the session is in order. Let us now proceed to the opening prayer to be led by Honorable Roan Angela G. Rillion, followed by the singing of the Pambansang Awit, Panunumpa ng Katapatan sa Watawat ng Pilipinas, the recitation of the Councilor's Creed, and the singing of the Tagum, Mabuhay Ka March.
Hello. Let us put ourselves in the holy presence of God. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Almighty and gracious God, we come before you today as we gather in this esteemed chamber, humbly seeking your divine guidance, wisdom, and blessing upon our deliberations and decisions. We acknowledge your sovereignty and recognize our responsibility to serve the people of this city with integrity, compassion, and dedication. Grant us the gift of wisdom to discern what is best for our community, the courage to make decisions that promote justice and equity, and the humility to listen and consider the diverse perspectives and needs of all our citizens. May our discussions be marked by respect, understanding, and a genuine desire to serve the common good. Bless our city with peace, prosperity, and progress. Guide us in addressing the challenges we face, in fostering an environment of growth and opportunity, and in ensuring the well-being and safety of all who live and work within our jurisdiction. Lord, grant us the strength to lead with vision and purpose, to work together with unity and cooperation, and to be faithful stewards of the trust placed with us. This we ask in the mighty name of Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiliw, helas ang sinangalan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, kuya ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisingil, sa nagatang tutok sa simoy at sa langit kong bangaw, ay hinatang tula, kawin sa pagkayang minamahal, ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nag-iingin, ang bituin at araw niya kailan ang may di magtitingin, luha ng araw ng walhagit pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo, ang hindi kaya ng pagkay mga akin, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
At sabay nating bigkasin ang panunumpa ng katapatan sa watawat ng Pilipinas. Ako ay Pilipino, buong katapatang nanunumpa sa watawat ng Pilipinas at sa bansang kanyang isinasagisag na may dangal, katarungan at kalayaan na ipinakikilos ng sambayanang makadiyos, makatao, makakalikasan at makabansa. The Philippine Councilor's Creed. I am a Philippine councilor, mandated by law to enact measures and ordinances that redound to the general welfare of my constituents in their pursuit for happiness, peace, and prosperity. I believe in public service above self as the guiding principle of my official act, and as I tread the pathways of local legislation, may the Almighty guide my mind and heart that I shall be true to my constituents and to the Filipino people.
Sa lupain ng pangako ay may isang paraiso. Ang matatag at matatayog niyang mundo ay sagana sa saging at ginto. Mga bukid niya at mga parang at mga lumpia ang balayan. Saan nakuman kung iyong pagmamasdan ito'y larawan ng kasaganahan. Tagum mabuhay ka, nasa'yo ang bukas na walang kasing ganda. Tagum mabuhay ka, paraisong puno ng pag-asa. Ang lahat niyang nasasakupan, nagmamahal sa kapayapaan, nagkakaisa lahat at nagtutulungan patungo sa miting kaunlaran. Di magtatagal maaabot din lahat ng pinapangarap natin. Kapit kamay lahat ay ating harapin, ang tuktok ay kaya nating abutin. Tagum mabuhay ka, nasa'yo ang bukas na walang kasing ganda. Tagum mabuhay ka, paraisong puno ng pag-asa. Tagum mabuhay ka, nasa'yo ang bukas na walang kasing ganda. Tagum mabuhay ka, paraisong puno ng pag-asa. Paraisong puno ng pag-asa.
Please be seated. So, good afternoon, everyone. So, the chair would like to thank Councilor Revita, Attorney Lemos, and Engineer Coquilla for being the OIC Vice Mayors from January 15 to January 23, 2026. Salamat. Okay, let's now proceed to the reading and consideration of the minutes and journal of proceedings of the 26th regular session on January 19, 2026. So, what is the pleasure of Councilor Attorney Wakan?
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Considering that each and every member has been furnished of the minutes of the 26th regular session dated January 19, 2026, consisting a total of 89 pages, may I move to dispense with the reading of the full text of the said minutes, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Wakan, seconded by Councilor Uy Salazar and Revita, and also Iliot. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is dispensed with.
I move for the approval of the 26th regular session dated January 19, 2026, consisting a total of 89 pages.
Moved by Moved by Attorney Wakan, seconded by Councilors Aala and Rubinos. Is there any discussion, any amendments, corrections, objection? There being none, therefore, the minutes of the 26th regular session of the Sangguniang Panglungsod of the City of Tagum, Province of Davao del Norte, held at the ST Session Hall on January 19, 2026, consisting of 89 pages, is hereby adopted without any corrections.
Madam Presiding Officer, for the same reason that each and every member has been furnished with a copy of the journal of the proceedings of the 26th regular session dated January 19, 2026, consisting of 67 pages, I move to dispense with the reading of the full text of the journal.
Moved by Councilor Wakan, seconded by Councilors Aala, Eliot, and Revita. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is dispensed with.
I move for the approval of the Journal of Proceedings of the 26th regular session dated January 19, 2026, consisting 67 pages.
Moved by Attorney Wakan, seconded by Councilor Aala and Councilor Ong. Is there any discussion, amendment, objection? There being none, therefore, the Journal of Proceedings of the 26th regular session held on January 19, 2026, consisting of 67 pages, is hereby adopted. Let us now proceed to the privilege hour. Any member who would like to avail of the privilege? Yes, Councilor Revita is recognized.
To our presiding officer, Honorable Eva Lorraine Estabilio, distinguished colleagues in this honorable council, ladies and gentlemen, and to the listening public, maayong hapon kanatong tanan. I rise today on the matter of personal and public significance. I stand before you not only as a city councilor, but also as a long-time pageant enthusiast. One who firmly believes that beauty pageants are far more than competition of physical appearance. They are powerful platforms that allow young women, especially our young Tagumenias, to raise their voices, express their purpose, and actively promote advocacies that contribute to social awareness, empowerment, and community development. Binibining Tagum is one such platform. It is a special event that is very close to my heart. During my tenure as the chairperson of the Committee on Tourism, Sisterhood Ties, and International Relations, I have witnessed how this event has become a symbol of pride, culture, and opportunity for our city. As Araw ng Tagum is fast approaching, ubay-ubay na gyud ang nagapangutana kanako. Naapabagyod ang mutya ng Tagum? This recurring question reflects not only curiosity but also the concern and hope of our people who truly value this prestigious event. It is for this reason that I am compelled to seek clarification on the status of Binibining Tagum. Personally and officially, I believe it is important to raise this matter before this council and our tourism council so that every Tagumenyo will be properly informed whether this event will push through or not. And if it will not, our people deserve to know the reasons behind the discontinuance of elimination of such a significant celebration. Let me emphasize that Binibining Tagum is not just an optional activity. It is an integral part of our city's annual celebration. In fact, it is clearly stated in City Ordinance Number 1006, Series of 2022, particularly under Article 3, Section 8, that Binibining Tagum forms part of the yearly celebration of Araw ng Tagum. This ordinance reflects the collective will of this council and recognize the cultural, historical, and social value of the event. This is more than just a privilege speech for me. It is an opportunity to speak with sincerity, to clarify important matters. to uphold transparency and to ensure that our ordinances are respected and faithfully implemented. Our young women look up to this event as a platform where confidence is built, leadership is nurtured, and advocacies are given a voice. As a city, we recognize this not merely an event, but as a meaningful celebration of our identity, our values, and the empowerment of our people. Madam Presiding Officer, with this manifestation, I respectfully request the concerned offices, particularly the Tourism Council, be invited to our next regular session to provide a clear and official statement on the current status of Binibining Tagum, as well as to present the plan, activities for the upcoming Araw ng Tagum. This will ensure that the public is properly informed and that matters affecting our tradition and the youth are clearly explained and aligned with our existing policies. Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer, and may this Honorable Council continue to serve with integrity, accountability, and genuine concern for the people of Tagum. Daghan kaayong salamat.
Thank you for that privilege. Any member who would like to... Yes, Councilor Coquillo?
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. May we be clarified on, because there was an assumption that there's no Binibining Tagum anymore, and when will be the holding of Binibining Tagum? Because as far as we remember, it was during November and or during March for the holding. But to that regard, Madam Presiding Officer, may we be clarified on where was that information taken from by the Chairperson Committee on Gender. May we know, Madam Chair, on where was that information came from so that we will be clarified. Because we don't like information that is heresy without basis, because we still have to know plans, programs, and activities of the City Tourism Office.
So, Councilor Revita, please answer the question.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Before I make this privileged speech, I was asking the staff of the tourism offices last week, and they confirmed that there will be no Binibining Tagum. So that's why I want to ask questions from the Tourism Council for more clarification.
Yes, Councilor Coquillo.
Lastly, Madam Presiding Officer, may we know if the intention is during the question hour? If the request is during the question hour, because it should be properly moved, Madam Chair, so that that will be properly recorded by the Secretary to the Sangguniang. Thank you.
Okay, Councilor Revita.
Thank you, Honorable Coquilla. Yes, Madam Presiding Officer, during the question hour, I would like to invite them.
Okay, so kindly make that into a motion.
I move that the concerned offices of the Tourism Council will be invited on the next regular session during our question hour. I so move.
Okay, there's a motion duly seconded by Councilor Aala. Discussion, Councilor
Discussion.
Coquillo.
Madam Chair, may we be clarified, because the motion was on Tourism Council. We still have to know, is the intention is Tourism Council or the Tourism Office?
Okay, the Tourism Office, Madam Presiding, head of the Tourism Office, Madam Presiding Officer. I move to amend
Okay,
the
so the amendment is
invited
to
guest.
invite the tourism officer
Tourism Officer
next
to the next
session
regular
during
session
regular
during
session.
our question hour.
Oh,
I so
okay.
move.
So, any objection? There being none, therefore, the motion of Councilor Revita to invite the tourism officer in the next regular session during the privilege hour is hereby approved.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer.
I'm sorry, question on. Question. Stand corrected. Okay, Summer would like to avail of the privilege. Anyone? There being none, let us now proceed to the reading and referral of proposed measures.
For our measures on first reading, we have items under letters of communications. Number 1, we have this letter dated January 20, coming from Honorable Rosalie A. Yadig, the Punong Barangay of Kanokotan, pertaining to Barangay Ordinance Number 1, Series of 2025, entitled An Ordinance Establishing the Funeral Reception or Wake Assistance, also known as the Pakikiramay Program, intended for the deceased registered voters and his or her immediate family with actual residence in Barangay Kanokotan, Tagum City, and formulating policies, guidelines, and appropriating funds thereof.
Item number 1 is referred to the Committee on Barangay Affairs and Laws, Rules, and Privileges.
Number 2, letter dated January 19, coming from Honorable Renato J. Opama Jr., State Chairperson of Barangay Bingkungan. This pertains to the Sangguniang Kabataan Supplemental Budget Number 1 for the calendar year 2025 of Barangay Bingkungan, appropriating the sum of 283,509 pesos and 4 centavos only.
Item number 2 is referred to the Committee on Youth and Sports Development, Finance Budget and Appropriations, and Barangay Affairs.
Item number 3, letter dated January 19, 2026, coming from Honorable Rosalie A. Yadig, the Punong Barangay of Kanokotan, pertaining to Supplemental Budget Number 3 for calendar year 2025 of Barangay Kanokotan, appropriating the sum of 240,000 pesos only.
Item number 3 is referred to the Committee on Barangay Affairs and Finance Budget and Appropriations.
Item number 4, letter dated January 21, coming from Honorable Betrovin S. Rubinos, Punong Barangay of La Filipina. This pertains to Supplemental Budget Number 4 for calendar year 2025 of Barangay La Filipina, appropriating the sum of 240,000 pesos only.
Item number 4 is referred to the Committee on Barangay Affairs and Finance Budget and Appropriations.
Number 5, letter dated January 16, 2026, coming from Honorable Alan T. Pereiras, Punong Barangay of Magupo West. This pertains to Supplemental Budget Number 4 for calendar year 2025 of Barangay Magupo West, appropriating the sum of 204,000 pesos only.
Item number 5 is referred to the Committee on Barangay Affairs and Finance Budget and Appropriations.
And then item number 6, letter dated January 22, coming from Honorable Dopasepi Doydoy, a resident of Barangay Magdum, Tagum City, pertaining to his letter against the Office of the City Engineering and Building Officials, content of which is self-explanatory.
Item number 6 is referred to the Committee on Good Government and Public Works, Facilities, Utilities.
And Madam President, we have one addendum for today's notice. Under letters and communications, letter dated January 26, 2026, coming from the Honorable City Mayor Ray T. Uy, pertaining to a draft resolution authorizing the local chief executive to seek sponsorship for the 28th Araw ng Tagum, and this is for urgent action.
Item under addendum is referred to the Committee on Tourism, Sisterhood Ties, and International Affairs. Let's now proceed to committee reports. First report is from the Committee on Good Government.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. May I have the indulgence to present the Joint Committee Report Number 1 Series of 2026, submitted by the Committee on Good Government, Public Ethics and Investigation, and the Committee on Science and Technology. The committee meeting was held last January 21, 2026, 9 a.m. at the SP Session Hall, New City Hall Building. This pertains to the inquiry on the processing of building permit applications in Tagum City, including assessment of processing time, service delivery, accountability of inspectors, and recommendations for process streamlining and digitalization. The committee, after having conducted the committee hearing and also with the statements of the invited guests and representing their respective offices, the committee recommended that based on the required the Building and Industrial Safety Division Office through the City Engineering Office to submit to the Joint Committee on or before February 13, 2026 the following. Madam Presiding Officer, a detailed tracking report of all building permit and auxiliary permit applications indicating the date of application submission, date received per processing stage, and date of approval or release. Second, a written narrative report outlining the specific measures to streamline the application and approval process of building permits, fencing permits, and any other auxiliary permits categorized per type of application. Third, a performance assessment report on all employees under the office, including observations and findings on service delivery, conduct, and accountability. Fourth, a report indicating inspection schedules, time spent per inspection, performance indicators, and the probability of application approval after the inspection to establish measurable accountability standards. Fifth, a written plan detailing measures to eliminate fixers, strengthen internal controls, and improve working relationships with external entities, including utility service providers. And lastly, to legibly post in the conspicuous place and accessible place within the City Engineering Office premises the Citizens Charter and process flow of building permit and auxiliary permit applications. And although, Madam Presiding Officer, that the officers representing the City Engineering Office Building Code, may we also request that to direct the SP Secretariat to formally transmit these recommendations to the concerned offices for compliance and submission of the required reports. I so move for the approval of the Joint Committee Report Number 1 Series of 2026, Madam Presiding Officer.
Please move first to dispense the reading of the full text.
I already read the full text.
Not,
Okay. Madam Presiding Officer, I move to dispense with the reading of the full text of the Joint Committee Report Number 1 Series of 2026.
moved by Councilor Wapan, seconded by Councilors Aala, Nakatayas, and Yot. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is dispensed with.
Madam Presiding Officer, I move for the approval of the Joint Committee Report Number 1 Series of 2026.
Moved by Councilor Wakan. Is there any discussion, amendment, objection? There being none, therefore, Joint Committee Report Number 1, Series of 2026, submitted by the Committee on Good Government, Public Ethics and Investigation, and Committee on Science and Technology is hereby adopted. Next committee report. Next committee is Datu Eric Perez.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. This is to render Joint Committee Report Number 1, Series of 2026, submitted by the Joint Committee on Indigenous People and Cultural Community Affairs and Committee on Laws, Rules, Regulation, and Privileges. With the subject matter, Madam Presiding Officer, the draft City Ordinance Number 102, Series of 2026. An ordinance adopting the official logo of the League of Indigenous Peoples Mandatory Representative LIPMR of Tagum City and for other purposes. Madam Officer, considering that all members has a copy of this committee report, I move to dispense with the reading of the full text of the Joint Committee Report, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by our IPMR, Datu Eric Perez, seconded by Councilors Aala, Katayas, and Kaasi. And there being no objection, the reading of its full text is dispensed with.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. I move for its adoption.
Is there any discussion, amendment, objection? There being none, therefore, Joint Committee Report Number 1, Series of 2026, submitted by the Committee on Indigenous People and Cultural Community Affairs and Laws, Rules, Regulations, and Privileges is hereby adopted. Next committee report, Councilor Coquilla is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. For and on behalf of the members of the Committee on Finance, Budget, and Appropriation, may I respectfully submit and present this committee report number 2, Series 2026. This was conducted last January 21, 2026 at 1:55 in the afternoon with two subject matter. One is relating the subsidy to BMLP or Vice Mayor's League of the Philippines allocation for calendar year 2026 in the amount of 200,000 pesos. And second is relating the letter from the Office of the City Mayor, Mayor Ray T. Uy, the draft resolution ratifying the excess of cost incurred for hygiene kits, resulting in total cost of 1,028,000 pesos 50 centavos as part of the donation to the municipality of Manay, Davao Oriental. Considering that all members of this 10th Sangguniang Panglungsod were distributed with a copy of this committee report number 2, with the assumption that they have already read the full content of this, I therefore move to dispense the reading of its full text.
Moved by Councilor Coquilla, second by Councilors Rubinos, Ala, Catayas, and Ul Salazar. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is dispensed with.
I move, Madam Presiding Officer, for its adoption.
Is there any discussion, amendment, objection? There being none, therefore, Committee Report Number 2, Series of 2026, submitted by the Committee on Finance, Budget, and Appropriation is hereby adopted. Next,
Another, Madam
Yes.
Presiding Officer,
Proceed.
for and on behalf of the members of the three committees, the Committee on Public Works, Facilities and Utilities, the Committee on Finance, Budget, and Appropriation, and the Committee on Laws, Rules, Regulations, and Privileges. Allow me to present this Joint Committee Report Number 1, Series 2026. This was conducted last January 21, 2026 at 2:25 in the afternoon with the subject matter. This is in relation to the letter dated January 12, 2026 of Honorable Ray T. Uy, City Mayor, addressed to the members of the Sangguniang through the City Vice Mayor, the list of projects of the city government of Tagum, funded by the Department of Interior and Local Government under the Local Government Support Fund, Support to Barangay Development Program, known as LGSF, SBDP, and the Local Government Support Fund, Financial Assistance to LGUs, known as LGSF FALGO, for fiscal year 2025. Considering that all members of this 10th Sangguniang Panglungsod have already read the full content of this Joint Committee Report Number 1, Series 2026, I therefore move to dispense for the reading of the full text of this committee report.
Moved by Councilor Coquilla, second by Councilor Rubinos, Ala, Catayas, and Ul Salazar. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is dispensed with.
I move for its adoption with information about the projects, Madam Presiding Officer. I so move.
Is there any discussion?
Just for information,
Yes.
Madam Presiding Officer,
Proceed.
to inform the public that the city government of Tagum was granted with the fund from LGSF, SBDP, and LGSF FALGO in an amount as distributed to the following: the proposed construction of multi-purpose building at City Hall Compound, Barangay Apocon, Tagum City. The source of fund, LGSF FALGO. The allocation is 80 million pesos. For concreting of local road in Barangay Mankilam to Barangay San Miguel, Tagum City, the amount is 30 million pesos. For the proposed concreting of local road at Timog Avenue, Barangay Madaom to Barangay San Isidro, Tagum City, the source of fund, LGSF FALGO, amount is 30 million pesos. For construction of multipurpose building in Magugpo Pilot Central Elementary School, Magugpo South, Tagum City. Source of fund or fund source, LGSF Falgo, amounting to 40 million pesos. For the construction of multipurpose building in Barangay Visayan Village, Tagum City, LGSF Falgo, the source of fund, the allocation is 25 million pesos. For the proposed construction of multipurpose building gym in Barangay Visayan Village, Tagum City, the source of fund, LGSF Falgo, amounting to 40 million pesos. For the proposed construction of multipurpose building in Barangay San Agustin, Tagum City, source of fund, LGSF Falgo, amounting to 12 million pesos. For the proposed concreting of Farm to Market Road, LGSF SBDP, amounting to 2,500,000 pesos. For the rehabilitation improvement of Level 3 water system, LGSF SBDP, amounting to 2,500,000. The concreting of Farm to Market Road, LGSF SBDP, 2,500,000. For construction, proposed construction multipurpose building in Barangay Libuganon, Tagum City, this would be funded by LGSF Falgo, amounting to 12 million pesos. And finally, for the proposed purchase and installation of closed-circuit television, CCTV surveillance system, at the source of fund, LGSF Falgo, amounting to 50 million pesos. Again, Madam Presiding Officer, what was being requested by the committee was that the City Architect's Office must present to the committee the project details of all these projects before this will be finally endorsed with supporting legislative support to appropriate offices. So thank you, Madam Presiding Officer.
Okay, so
I move, Madam Presiding Officer, for its adoption.
Okay, so thank you for that information. Is there any amendment, objection? There being none, therefore, Joint Committee Report Number 1, Series of 2026, submitted by the Committee on Public Works, Facilities and Utilities, Finance, Budget and Appropriation, and Laws, Rules, Regulations, and Privileges is hereby adopted. Next committee report from Barangay Affairs, our leader ng Barangay President, Honorable Vito Ben Rubinos, is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. This is Joint Committee Report Number 2, Series of 2026, submitted by the Committee on Barangay Affairs, together with the Committee on Laws, Rules, Regulations, and Privileges, and Committee on Education, dated January 21, 2026, at SB Session Hall with the subject matter. Barangay Ordinance Number 2, Series of 2025 of Barangay Nueva Parsa, an ordinance creating the Barangay Educational Scholarship Program for deserving learners and providing regulations and funds for the implementation thereof. Considering that all members has a copy of this committee report, I move to dispense the reading of the full text of the said committee report, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Honorable Rubino, seconded by Councilors Revita and Ala. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is dispensed with.
I move for its adoption, Madam Presiding Officer.
Is there any discussion, amendment, objection? There being none, therefore, Joint Committee Report Number 1, Series of 2026, submitted by the Committee on Barangay Affairs, Laws, Rules, Regulations, and Privileges, and Education is hereby adopted. Sorry, Joint Committee Report Number 2.
Another committee report, Madam Presiding Officer. Joint Committee Report Number 1, Series of 2026, submitted by the Committee on Barangay Affairs, together with the Committee on Laws, Rules, Regulations, and Privileges, and Committee on Agriculture and Food, January 21, 2026, at SB Session Hall with the subject matter. Barangay Ordinance Number 28, Series of 2025 of Barangay Magugpo South, an ordinance establishing Barangay Community Garden or BCG in Barangay Magugpo South, Tagum City for the purpose of promoting food security, environmental sustainability, and community participation, and providing funds thereof. Considering that all members has a copy of this committee report, I move to dispense the reading of the full text of the said committee report, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by our Liga ng Barangay President, seconded by Councilor Catayas, Rillion, and Aala. There being no objection, the reading of the full text of Joint Committee Report Number 1 is dispensed with.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. I move for its adoption.
Is there any discussion, amendment, objection? There being none, therefore, Joint Committee Report Number 1 submitted by the Committee on Barangay Affairs, Laws, Rules, Regulations, and Privileges, and Committee on Agriculture is hereby adopted. Next, committee report from the Committee on Education.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Joint Committee Report Number 2, submitted by the Committee on Education, Committee on Health, and Committee on Laws, Rules, and Regulations and Privileges, dated January 7, 2026, held at SP Session Hall, New City Hall Building, with subject matter letter dated December 22, 2025, from Honorable Ray T. Uy, City Mayor, addressed to the Honorable Members of the Sangguniang through Honorable Eva Lorraine E. Estabilios, City Vice Mayor, duly received by the Office of the Secretary to the Sangguniang on December 26, 2025, the herein contract of affiliation between the City Government of Tagum and the Tagum Doctors College Incorporated. Since copies were given of the said Joint Committee Report, Madam Presiding Officer, I move to the dispense of the reading of the Joint Committee Report.
Moved by Councilor Aala, duly seconded by Councilor Rubinos and Revita. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is dispensed with.
I move for its adoption.
Is there any discussion, amendment, objection? There being none, therefore, Joint Committee Report Number 2 submitted by the Committee on Education, Health, and Laws, Rules, Regulations, and Privileges is hereby adopted. Next, committee report from the Committee on Housing.
Madam Chair.
Councilor Kaasi.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to dispense with the reading of Joint Committee Report Number 2, Series of 2026 on the Committee on Housing and Land Utilization, on the Joint Committee on Housing, Land Utilizations, and Committee on Laws, Rules, and Privileges, dated January 21, 2026, 10 a.m. at SP Session Hall, New Building, Tagum City, with two subject matters. First is the resolution authorizing the City Mayor, Honorable Ray T. Uy, to sign for and on behalf of the City Government of Tagum the deed of absolute sale for the parcel of land in the name of Jose B. Agan et al. Located at Barangay Magdum, Tagum City. And next, the second subject matter is the draft extrajudicial settlement of estate with absolute deed of donation for the parcel of land owned by the following heirs donors for appropriate action. First is Noima Evelyn Y. Cacayorin and Julito Bano Jr. I so move, Madam Chair.
Okay, so moved by Councilor Kaasi, seconded by Councilor Aala. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is dispensed with.
I move for its adoption, Madam Chair.
Is there any discussion, amendment, objection? There being none, therefore Joint Committee Report Number 1, submitted by the Committee on Agriculture and Food and Laws, Rules, Regulations, and Privileges is hereby adopted. Next, committee report.
Madam Chair.
Proceed.
This is to run. I move to dispense with the reading of Joint Committee Report Number 1, Series of 2026 by the Committee on Agriculture and Food and Committee on Laws, Rules, and Regulations and Privileges on January 21, 2026 at 9:30 a.m. at SP Session Hall, Tagum City. This is in relation with the 11th regular session, letter number 1, for the draft city ordinance institutionalizing the community-based training on slaughter operation of the city of Tagum, including its implementing guidelines and funding provisions. Certain sections of the proposal were identified as needing revisions to ensure alignment with technical standards, proper budgeting, and operational feasibility. I so move, Madam Chair.
Okay, so moved by Councilor Kaasi, seconded by Councilors Aala and Catayas. There being no objection, the reading of the full text of this Joint Committee Report is dispensed with.
I move for its adoption, Madam Chair.
Moved by Councilor Kaasi. Is there any discussion, amendment, objection? There being none, therefore, Joint Committee Report number 1 is hereby adopted. Summer committee reports. There being none, let us now proceed to the calendar of business. Councilor Wapan is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. I move for the approval of the calendar of business as stated in the notice of the 27th regular session dated January 26, 2026.
Moved by Councilor Wakan, second by Councilor Aala, Catayas, and Rillion. Is there any discussion? Any amendment to the calendar of business? Amendment, Councilor Ong is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. May I ask the Secretary for the next resolution number?
Honorable Chair, that will be resolution number 454.
Mr. Hello. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Since this is certified urgent by our local chief executive, I move for its inclusion in our calendar of business for inclusion on the unassigned business. Resolution number 454, series of 2026, a resolution authorizing the local chief executive, Honorable Ray T. Uy, City Mayor of Tagum, to seek sponsorship for the 28th Araw ng Tagum. I so move, Madam President.
Moved by Councilor Ong, second by Councilors Catayas, Revita, Eliot, and Rubinos. There being no objection, therefore resolution number 454 is included under unassigned business.
Thank you.
Some more inclusions, Councilor Coquilla.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. As recommended by the Committee on Finance, Budget, and Appropriation through pursuant to Committee Report Number 2, Series 2026, I move for inclusion under unassigned business, draft resolution number 455, Series of 2026, with the title, a resolution authorizing Honorable Ray T. Uy, City Mayor, to enter and sign for and in behalf of the City Government of Tagum, a Memorandum of Agreement, MOA, with the Vice Mayors League of the Philippines, Davao del Norte, BMLPDN, Incorporated, regarding the utilization of donations, subsidy to BMLP for calendar year 2026, amounting to 200,000 pesos as financial aid for the implementation of the BMLP's programs, projects, and activities, PPAs. I so move, Madam Chair, for its inclusion.
Moved by Councilor Coquilla, second by Councilor Aala and Rubinos. There be no objection, therefore resolution number 455 is included under unassigned business.
Another, Madam Chair.
Proceed.
Again, as recommended, pursuant to Committee Report Number 2 by the Committee on Finance, I move for inclusion under unassigned business, draft resolution number 456, series of 2026, with the title, a resolution ratifying the excess cost incurred for hygiene kits, resulting in a total of cost of 1,028,000 pesos and 50 centavos as part of the donation to the Municipality of Manay, Davao Oriental. I so move for its inclusion.
Moved by Councilor Coquilla, second by Councilors Aala, Ong, and Catayas. There being no objection, therefore resolution number 456 is included under unassigned business. Councilor Rubinos.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Amendments for inclusion under unassigned business. Resolution number 457, a resolution returning Barangay Ordinance number 1 series of 2025 of the Sangguniang Barangay of Nueva Verza, Tagum City, Davao del Norte. I move for its inclusion, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Rubinos, seconded by Councilor Repita. There being no objection, therefore resolution number 457 is included under unassigned business.
Another amendments for inclusion, Madam Presiding Officer. Resolution number 458, a resolution returning Barangay Ordinance number 28 series of 2025 of the Sangguniang Barangay of Magugpo South, Tagum City, Davao del Norte. I move for its inclusion, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Rubinos, seconded by Councilor Revita and Catayas. There being no objection, therefore resolution number 458 is included under unassigned business. Councilor Aala.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer, amendment for inclusion under unassigned business, Resolution 459, Series of 2026, a resolution authorizing the City Mayor, Honorable Ray Kiuy, to enter into and sign for in behalf of the City Government of Tagum the contract of affiliation with Tagum Doctors College Incorporated. I move for its inclusion, Honorable Chair.
Moved by Councilor Aala, seconded by Councilors Rubinos and Gatayas. There being no objection, therefore resolution number 459 is included under unassigned business. Councilor Kaasi.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I request our good secretary for the number of our draft city ordinance.
Madam Chair, that would be draft city ordinance number 104.
For inclusion under unassigned business is draft city ordinance number 104, series of 2026, an ordinance institutionalizing the community-based and refresher training program on slaughtering operations in the city of Tagum, prescribing its implementing guidelines, appropriating funds thereof, and for other related purposes, and creating the project management board for the slaughtering operation of the city government of Tagum, defining its mandate, power, functions, and composition. I so move, Madam Chair.
Moved by Councilor Kaasi, seconded by Councilor Aala, Catayas, and Uy Salazar. There being no objection, therefore draft city ordinance number 104 is included under unassigned business. Some more inclusions. There being none, back to the main motion as amended 7 times. Is there any objection? There being none, therefore the calendar of business as amended 7 times is hereby adopted. Let us now proceed to the first item under unfinished business.
First item under unfinished business is resolution number 424. A resolution confirming the annual budget for calendar year 2026 of Barangay Mangkilam, Tagum City amounting to 58,367,000 pesos only.
Councilor Coquilla is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. As a matter of information, Madam Presiding Officer, may we first know confirmation from the Secretary to the Sangguniang on the result of the 2 requests from the barangay to submit their what was being stipulated in the committee report number 1, Series 2026, dated January 7, 2026, so that appropriate discussions will be provided.
Madam President, I have with me the letters we sent last January 21 to the 2 barangays, Madam President. And just this morning we made follow-up to the said letters, and a few hours later, Madam President, we received this letter coming from Barangay Visayan Village. On the part of Barangay Mangkilam, they told us, Madam President, that they would be calling us later, but we received no calls, Madam President.
Okay. Yes, Councilor Coquilla.
Madam Presiding Officer, since there were 2 letters sent to the barangay, because the one among the rule of the Sangguniang is its review function and to know the intended purpose of their budget, and also to know also their quarterly submission as mandated by the DBM on the expenditures of their and the execution of their budget. So we need to know on that. For the case of Barangay Mangkilam, Madam Presiding Officer, that this resolution be referred back to the committee for them to finally be invited. Because during the January 7, for the record, Madam Presiding Officer, that there was no appearance of the Punong Barangay during the committee hearing. So meaning to say that there the informations to be, or questions to be raised, and information to be relayed to the committee has that significant value, Madam Presiding Officer, so that we can check on how their budget will be implemented for year 2026. To this note, Madam Presiding Officer, that this draft resolution number 424, Series 2026, be referred back to the committee for committee action, and to invite once again the punong barangay for a committee hearing, the final committee hearing on Wednesday or on the 29th, so that they have ample time to present the 29th of January 2026 at 9 o'clock in the morning, and with special information that they should prepare their what was being stipulated in the committee report number 1. I so move, Madam Chair.
Okay, so moved by Councilor Coquilla, seconded by Councilors Aala, Eliot, and Catayas. There being no objection, the resolution number 424 shall be referred back to the Committee of Religion. Next, proceed to the next item.
Next, Madam Chair, we have resolution number 427, a resolution confirming the annual budget for calendar year 2026 of Barangay Visayan Village, Tagum City, amounting to 61,250,682 pesos only.
Councilor Coquilla.
We are in the discussion period, Madam Chair. Just to inform these honorable members of this Sangguniang and the listening public, and of course the constituency of Barangay Visayan Village, that just this morning at 10:30 in the morning, January 26, 2026, duly stamp received by Madam Lisa L. Sirafica of the Secretary to the Sangguniang, that their office is in receipt of the letter from the Punong Barangay. For information purposes, Madam Presiding Officer, allow me to read the full text of the letter because this has something to do with the request of the Sangguniang. Allow me to read. This January 26, 2026, addressed to the Committee on Finance, Budget, and Appropriation, the Committee on Barangay Affairs, 10th City Council, City of Tagum, through Mr. Ray A. Buhion, Secretary to the Sangguniang. Sirs, greetings. This is in relation to the letter received by this office from the Office of the Secretary to the Sangguniang dated January 20, 2026, pertaining to the follow-up on the request of various documents in connection with the proposed resolution confirming Appropriation Ordinance Number 2, Series 2025 of the Sangguniang Barangay of Visayan Village, Tagum City, operative and effective upon its approval, which the same piece of legislation has been temporarily laid on the table as of 25th regular session of the 10th City Council last January 12, 2026. Extracted from the attached Joint Committee Report number 1 are the following documents that are requested from Barangay Visayan Village to be submitted before the Joint Committee as follows. Number 1, Equipment Utilization and Fuel Utilization Report of the vehicles and heavy equipments for the year 2025. PPA's Implementation Plan for 2026 Budget. Project Monitoring Report for 2025. May we request the kind indulgence of the honorable members of the Sangguniang Panglungsod to explain our side regarding the requested documents. Pursuant to Section 333A, Article 2, Chapter 3, Title 4, Book 2 of Republic Act 7160, otherwise known as the Local Government Code 1991, which read, within 10 days from its approval, copies of the Barangay Ordinance authorizing the annual appropriation shall be furnished the Sangguniang Panglungsod or the Sangguniang Bayan, as the case may be, through the city or municipal budget officer. The Sangguniang concerned shall have the power to review such ordinance. Allow me to stress power to review such ordinance in order to ensure that the provision of this title are complied with. If within 60 days after the receipt of the ordinance, the Sangguniang concerned takes no action thereon, the same shall be continue to be in full force and effect. If within the same period, the Sangguniang concerned shall have ascertained that the ordinance contains appropriations in excess of the estimates of the income duly certified as collectible, or that same has not complied with the budgetary requirements set forth in this title, the said ordinance shall be declared inoperative, its entirety or in part, items of appropriation contrary to and or excess of the general limitations or the maximum amount prescribed in this title shall be disallowed or reduced accordingly. With this, it is viewed that the request of above-mentioned 2025 reports have no relevance to the requirement that in order for the 2026 annual budget to be in conformity with the provision of the Local Government Code of 1991, Local Memorandum and Circulars, it is further viewed that the review and or scrutiny of the 2025 reports are well within the jurisdiction of the Committee on Audit, with those particular kinds of reports needed to be prepared and submitted as well, communicated ahead to the barangays during entrance conference by the COA audit team pursuant to their audit plan pursuant to the constitutional guarantee of due process. The same is true on the requested PPA's implementation plan for 2026 budget, which we viewed to be redundant with the Annual Investment Program 2026 and Annual Procurement Plan 2026, with both documents are very well already included in the annual budget for 2026 packets, as required by the Local Budget Memorandum Number 32, dated June 9, 2025, promulgated by the Department of Budget and Management. Assuming further that the additional requirements have legal basis, we are constrained to submit same within short period of time, being the same are requested only for the first time, since our novel kind of report, being not among those reports regularly prepared as provided by the Barangay Financial Management Manual pursuant to Commission on Audit Circular Number 2015-011, dated December 1, 2015, with plenty of paperworks and reports already piling up to be submitted to various government offices, such as the City Accounting, City Budget, Commission Audit, and Department of Interior and Local Government, and with only a limited number of barangay personnel, we are yet to reorganize the personnel structure to designate a dedicated barangay staff to do the work of retrieving the documents, doing field work, and reducing the result into a written report, which will take time and resources of the barangay. Thus, it is our humble view and opinion that the continued laying on the table of the proposed legislation embodying the annual budget for 2026 as a condition for the submission of documents despite joint committee already conducted its finding and observations, that said annual budget conforms to the provision of Local Government Code 1991, Local Budget Memorandum and Circulars, as per your joint committee report, may constitute an overreach of and may be beyond the review powers as provided by Section 333A of Republic Act 7160. We further submit that this letter does not mean that we are avoiding any responsibility and accountability entrusted to us from our duties as public servants, but we believe that same documentary requirements may be provided and be produced before an appropriate venue and forum. We thank you for your consideration and prompt response on this matter. Daghang salamat and Abante Visayan Village. Sincerely, Honorable Alfredo B. De Vera Jr. OD, Punong Barangay. This is the full text of their letter, which will be, again, be one among the subject for discussion and deliberation by the committee. And to this regard, Madam Presiding Officer, I move that this resolution that covers the confirmation for Barangay Visayan Village be referred back to the committee for appropriate action. I so move, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Coquilla, seconded by Councilor Aala. Is there any discussion, amendment, objection? There being none, therefore, Resolution number 427, series of 2026 is hereby referred back to the committee. Next item.
Madam President, next item is resolution number 436, a resolution authorizing the city mayor, Honorable Wakey Uy, to enter into and sign for and in behalf of the city government of Tagum, the memorandum of agreement for work immersion program with Max Mirafuentes Incorporated.
Councilor Aala is recognized.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Since last session, Honorable Chair, it was discussed about this resolution number 436 for clarification. And since the resolution number 436 have been properly in order with the designation of all who are authorized to sign from the Max Mirafuentes Academy Incorporated, Shekil M. Sibala, the Vice President for Administration, and their witness Darwin R. Rodelas Jr., the IT Administrator of Max Mirafuentes Academy. Madam Presiding Officer, I move for the approval, I move for the approval, second approval of the said resolution, Honorable Chair.
Okay. Moved by Councilor Aala, duly seconded by Councilor Rillion, Catayas, Kaasi, and Revita. Is there any discussion? Discussion?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Since there was a recommendation in the Article 5 in the waiver liability, Honorable Chair, the last part of the paragraph, Honorable Chair, in the Max Mirafuentes Academy Incorporated hereby waive and renounce any claim against the city government of Tagum for any injury or loss of student trainee may sustain in the course of their training. That's all, Honorable Chair.
Okay, thank you for that. From the chair, does Mr. Shekel Sibala Julie, does he have any authority to sign?
During the deliberation, Madam Chair, she was the one who represented the Max Mirafuentes, and she was the one that authorized to represent for the signing of the yes. Madam Presiding.
Because it is the usual is the president, and even if it is the president, we still require them to give us a copy of the secretary's certificate or board resolution authorizing them to sign. And I question, right? I'm just asking because this is the vice president for administration, and I'm just wondering if he or she is really authorized to sign this memorandum.
Because during that time, Madam Officer, she was authorized to represent, and during the deliberation of the committee, Madam Chair, she was also authorized, but she didn't give any, but she was authorized to sign on behalf of the Max Mirafuentes, Madam Presiding Officer.
It's different, Manggod, if she babae? It's different if he is authorized to attend the meeting, to represent the school during the meeting, and it is also a different authority to sign the memorandum of agreement. So I'm just wondering, can they check na lang if he is duly authorized before he will be able to sign during the signing? Okay.
Thank you, Madam Presiding. During the signing, Madam Presiding Officer. Okay.
Okay, so some more? None, so proceed to the amendment.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Since I move that resolution, all of my fellow colleagues physically present will be co-proponent of the resolution number 436, series of 2026, Madam Presiding Officer.
Okay, so moved by Councilor Aala, seconded by Councilors Revita, Rubinos, and Catayas. There being no objection, all members physically present shall be co-proponents of resolution number 436.
I move to approve the second and final reading, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Aala, seconded by Councilor Catayas. Those who are in favor, please raise your right hand.
In favor, Councilor Perez, Councilor Catayas, Councilor Aala, Councilor Rubinos, Councilor Elliot, Councilor Revita, Councilor Uy Salazar, Councilor Kaasi, Councilor Coquilla, Councilor Ong, Councilor Lemos, Councilor Wakan, and Councilor Ilion. Madam President, all members present are in favor.
All members present being in favor, therefore Resolution number 436, series of 2026 is approved on second and final reading. Let's now proceed to measures on second reading.
On second reading, Madam President, we have resolution number 450, a resolution authorizing the Honorable City Mayor Ray T. Uy to sign for and in behalf of the City Government of Tagum the deed of donation from the Office of the President in the amount of 3 million pesos as assistance to earthquake-affected families and relief and recovery operations in the city.
Councilor Rubinos is...
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Since all members were already given a copy of Resolution number 450, I move to dispense with its reading, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Rubinos, seconded by Councilor Catayas and Revita. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is dispensed with.
I move for its approval on second reading, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Catayas, second by Councilors Aala. Is there any discussion?
Discussion, Madam Presiding Officer. For the information of this august body, the members of the Joint Committee conducted our committee meeting last January 14, 2026, and we were recommended to attach to the committee report the following. First is the final draft of the deed of donation with the appropriate name of the signatory. Second is the legal opinion of the deed of donation from the City Legal Office. Third is the list of families affected of the beneficiaries or the beneficiaries of the 3 million pesos. Fourth is the list of materials and items to be purchased. And last is the CDRRMC resolution that covers the purpose of the donation. And just this day, the requirements as mentioned was totally completed, including the final draft of the deed of donation with the appropriate name of the signatory. That's all, Madam Presiding Officer.
Okay, thank you for that. Proceed.
Amendments, Madam Presiding Officer, that the title of the resolution should be a resolution authorizing the Honorable City Mayor Ray T. Uy to sign for and in behalf of the City Government of Tagum the deed of donation from the Office of the President in the amount of 3 million pesos as assistance to earthquake-affected families and relief and recovery operations in the city.
Amendment? Okay, so there's an amendment. Any second? Seconded by Councilor Aala. Is there any discussion? Amendment to the amendment? Objection. There being none, therefore that amendment is hereby approved.
Another amendments, Madam Presiding Officer, that all members present be co-proponents.
Moved by Councilor Rubinos, seconded by Councilor Catayas and Rillion. There be no objection, therefore all members physically present shall be co-proponents of this resolution.
Madam Presiding Officer, I move that this be approved for second and final reading.
Moved by Councilor Rubinos that this be approved on second and final reading, seconded by Councilor Coquilla. Those who are in favor, please raise your right hand.
In favor, we have Councilor Perez, Councilor Catayas, Councilor Aala, Councilor Rubinos, Councilor Elliot, Councilor Revita, Councilor Luis Salazar, Councilor Kaasi, Councilor Coquilla, Councilor Ong, Councilor Lemos, Councilor Wakan, and Councilor Rillion. Madam President, all members present are in favor.
All members present being in favor, therefore resolution number 450 is approved on second and final reading. The Chair declares for a few minutes recess. Mapayat po. Okay. Session now resumes. Let us now proceed to items under unassigned business.
Madam Chair, under unassigned business, the first item is resolution number 454, a resolution authorizing the local chief executive, Honorable Ray T. Uy, City Mayor of Tagum, to seek sponsorship for the 28th Araw ng Tagum.
The Chairperson, Committee on Tourism, Councilor Arthur Ong, is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Since all members already has a copy of the said measure, I move to dispense the reading of the resolution number 45 series of 2026.
Moved by Councilor Ong, seconded by Councilors Catayas, Revita, and Daala. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is dispensed with.
I move for its approval on second reading.
Moved by Councilor Ong for the approval on second reading, seconded by Councilors Catayas and Revita. Is there any discussion?
Yes, just a brief discussion, Madam Presiding Officer. The local government of Tagum were able to secure a 500,000 peso as an additional funding for Araw ng Tagum. In order to facilitate this grant, the Department of Tourism, first, the DOT requires that the Sangguniang Panglungsod shall pass a resolution authorizing our local chief executive to seek for sponsorship. And then after which, the Department of Tourism will be forwarding a memorandum of agreement that is of their standard template, wherein it will stipulate the downloading of the funds to the local government of Tagum. We are truly grateful for the initiative and efforts of our City Tourism Office, especially to the Department of Tourism for making and for supporting the 28th Araw ng Tagum and making it more festive and meaningful. Therefore, I am soliciting the support of my fellow members of the 10 City Council as this is certified urgent by our local chief executive. That is all, Madam Presiding Officer.
Okay, thank you for that information. Any questions from the members? Yes, Councilor Coquilla.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. May we know if this is exclusively for the Department of Tourism? Or does this authority to the local chief executive it will open up its authority to other generous institutions and others that would have to support the programs for Araw ng Tagum?
For now, Madam Presiding Officer, this is only for the Department of Tourism.
Okay, so the resolution is specific for
Specific for the Department of Tourism.
Some more questions from the members? Okay, so there being none, we will now proceed to the amendments.
For amendment, Madam Presiding Officer, I move that all members present be co-proponents of this measure.
Yes, Councilor Coquilla.
May I again ask for consideration, Madam Chair, that for the title, after the Araw ng Tagum, an added phrase with the Department of Tourism, Madam Presiding Officer, so that the title will tell us that this authority will be intended only for the Department of Tourism. So may I again request a good gentleman from Visayan Village to cause for the necessary amendment.
Will very well taken, Madam Presiding Officer. For amendment, Madam Presiding Officer, I move that the title of the resolution be a resolution authorizing the local chief executive, Honorable Ray T. Uy, City Mayor of Tagum, to seek sponsorship to seek sponsorship from Department of Tourism for the 28th Araw ng Tagum. I so move, Madam Presiding Officer.
Yes, Councilor, moved, seconded by Councilor Coquilla and Revita. Is there any discussion to the amendment? Amendment to the amendment, objection to the amendment? There being none, therefore that amendment is hereby approved. Kindly harmonize the now therefore portion with the amended title.
Yes, Madam Presiding Officer. And another amendment, Madam Presiding Officer.
Yes.
I move that the now therefore part of the now therefore part of the resolution be harmonized with the title. I so move, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Ong, duly seconded by Councilors Revita, Aala, and Catayas. Is there any discussion, amendment, objection? There being none, therefore, the now therefore portion of the resolution shall be harmonized with the amended title. Proceed.
Finally, Madam Presiding Officer, I move that this measure be approved on second and final reading.
Moved by Councilor Ong that this be approved on second and final reading, seconded by Councilor Aala. Those who are in favor, please raise your right hand.
In favor, Councilor Perez, Councilor Catayas, Councilor Aala, Councilor Rubinos, Councilor Elliot, Councilor Revita, Councilor Uy Salazar, Councilor Taasi, Councilor Coquilla, Councilor Ong, Councilor Lemos, Councilor Wakan, and Councilor Rillion. Madam President, all members of the council are in favor.
All members present being in favor, therefore resolution number 454 is approved on second and final reading. The chair declares for a few minutes recess. Ang nasa next item.
Next item, Madam Chair, is resolution number 455, a resolution authorizing Honorable Reti Uy, City Mayor, to enter into and sign for and in behalf of the City Government of Tagum, a memorandum of agreement with the Vice Mayor's League of the Philippines, Davao del Norte, Incorporated, regarding the utilization of donations, subsidy to VMLP for calendar year 2026, amounting to 200,000 pesos as financial aid for the implementation of the VMLP's programs, projects, and activities.
Councilor Coquilla is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. For on behalf of the members of the Committee on Finance, and with the Committee on Finance that would have to act as the sponsor of this resolution, and as attached to Committee Report number 2, Series 2026, is the copy of the draft resolution and the full text also of the Memorandum of Agreement. I move, Madam Presiding Officer, to dispense the reading of its full text. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Coquilla, duly seconded by Councilors Aala, Elliot, Uy Salazar, and Catayas. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is hereby dispensed with.
I move, Madam Presiding Officer, for its approval for second reading.
Moved by Councilor Coquilla, seconded by Councilor Aala. Is there any discussion?
Just for information, Madam Presiding Officer, that the City of Tagum have earmarked an amount of 200,000 pesos exclusively to support for the programs, plans, programs, and activities of the Vice Mayor's League, Davao del Norte. And this would be, again, be taken care of by no less than our Vice Mayor. And based on the project, program, activity, this will provide community and walk-in clients services such as health, medical, and behavioral assistance, including sports, wellness programs, community, barangay development activities, and other related services during emergency situations that need an immediate response. So the target beneficiaries will be the entire, all barangays of Tagum City, the 23 barangays. This will be due to start upon approval of this resolution, but as proposed, January 1, 2026, up to December 31, 2026. And this will again, and further extend help assistance to students with educational needs and to NGO assisting also to vulnerable sectors, individuals facing crisis situations. So this is the coverage of the 200,000 pesos subject for the preparation of activity design and on the liquidation report to be submitted not later than December 31, 2026. Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer.
Thank you for that information. Please proceed, Councilor Coquilla.
I move, Madam Presiding Officer, that the entire that the stipulations covered embodying resolution, the content of memorandum agreement, be subjected to form and style. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Coquilla, duly seconded by Councilors Kaasi, Uy Salazar, that this be subjected to form and style. Is there any discussion, amendment, objection? There being none, therefore resolution number 455 is subject to form and style.
I move, Madam Presiding Officer, that all members of this Sangguniang Panglungsod, the 10th Sangguniang Panglungsod, be co-proponent of this draft resolution.
Moved by Councilor Coquilla, seconded by Councilors Aala, Eliot, and Rubinos. There being no objection, therefore all members shall be co-proponents of this resolution.
I move finally that this be approved for second and final reading. I so
Moved
move.
by Councilor Coquilla, seconded by Councilor Aala. Those who are in favor, please raise your right hand.
In favor, Councilor Perez, Councilor Catayas, Councilor Aala, Councilor Rubinos, Councilor Elliot, Councilor Vita, Councilor Uy Salazar, Councilor Kaasi, Councilor Coquilla, Councilor Ong, Councilor Lemos, Councilor Wakan, and Councilor Willion. Madam President, all members present are in favor.
All members present being in favor, therefore resolution number 455 is approved on second and final reading. Next item.
Next item, Madam Chair, is resolution number 456, a resolution ratifying the excess cost incurred for hygiene kits, resulting in a total cost of 1,028,000 pesos and 50 centavos as part of the donation to the municipality of Manay, Davao Oriental.
Councilor Coquilla is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Again, as covered by the Committee Report Number 2, Series 2026, this draft resolution ratifying the excess and the full text of the title was already presented by the Secretary to the Sangguniang, with the assumption that all members of this 10th Sangguniang Panglungsod has a copy and read the full text of draft resolution number 456, Series 2026. I therefore move to dispense the reading of its full text.
Moved by Councilor Coquilla, seconded by Councilors Aala and Catayas. There being no objection, therefore the reading of the full text of resolution number 456 is hereby dispensed with.
I move, Madam Presiding Officer, for approval for second reading.
Moved by Councilor Coquilla, seconded by Councilors Aala, Uy Salazar, and Catayas. Is there any discussion?
Again, Madam Presiding Officer, may I be given a time to present on this, and with the city government of Tagum, Madam Presiding Officer, have already earmarked an amount of 3.8 million pesos exclusively for our donation, and this is in a form of materials and other peripheries to be intended for the municipality of Manay, Davao Oriental, that was being significantly affected by the Doblet earthquake last October 2025. And on the processing of the procurement, Madam Presiding Officer, that there was an excess of 28,000 pesos. That's supposedly the amount earmarked is 1 million pesos only, but in the processing, since we cannot fix it on the specific amount for 1 million, there was an excess of 28,050 centavos. That's why it was being recommended by the appropriate office to pass a resolution that ratifies the excess of cost, supposedly from 1 million to 1,028,050 centavos. So this resolution, this piece of legislation will support for the excess of the amount, so that appropriate liquidation will be, again, be in order, Madam Presiding Officer.
Okay, thank you for that information, Councilor Coquilla. Proceed, Councilor.
For the amendment, Madam Presiding Officer, I move, Madam Presiding Officer, that all stipulations cover draft resolution number 456, Series 2026, be subjected to form and style.
Moved by Councilor Coquilla, seconded by Councilors Aala, Eliot, and Rubinos. There being no objection, therefore, resolution number 456 shall be subject to form and style.
I move, Madam Chair, that all members of this 10th Sangguniang Panglungsod be co-proponent of this resolution.
Moved by Councilor Coquilla, seconded by Dato Eric Perez. There being no objection, therefore all members physically present shall be co-proponents of this resolution.
As recommended by the Committee Report Number 2, Series 2026, that this piece of legislation that covers Draft Resolution Number 456, Series 2026, be approved for second and final reading.
Moved by Councilor Coquilla, second by Councilor Revita. Those who are in favor, please raise your right hand.
In favor, Councilor Perez, Councilor Catayas, Councilor Aala, Councilor Rubinos, Councilor Elliot, Councilor Revita, Councilor Luis Salazar, Councilor Kaasi, Councilor Coquilla, Councilor Ong, Councilor Lemos, Councilor Wakan, and Councilor Leon. Madam President, all members present are in favor.
All members present being in favor, therefore, resolution number 456 is approved on second and final reading. Next item.
Next item is resolution number 457, a resolution returning Barangay Ordinance number 1, Series of 2025 of the Sangguniang Barangay of Nueva Fersa, Tagum City, Davao del Norte.
Councilor Rubinos is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Since all members were already given a copy of this resolution number 457, I move to dispense with its reading, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Rubino, second by Dr. Eric Perez. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is dispensed with.
I move for its approval on second reading, Madam Presiding
Moved by
Officer.
Councilor Rubino, seconded by Councilor Aala. Is there any discussion?
Discussion, Madam Presiding Officer, for the information of this august body. The Barangay Educational Scholarship Program or Best Pro of Barangay Nueva Fersa is intended for students who are bona fide residents of Barangay Nueva Fersa. The program covers junior high school and senior high school students, college students, and learners under the Alternative Learning System or ALS, whether enrolled in public or private educational institutions within the city of Tagum. And after the deliberation, the members of this joint committee proposed several corrections for their consideration as reflected in the committee report. Thereafter, the joint committee recommended that the return of Barangay Ordinance Number 1, Series of 2025 to the Sangguniang Barangay of Nueva Fersa for further refinement.
Thank you for that. Proceed.
Amendments, Madam Presiding Officer, that all members present be co-proponents.
Moved by Councilor Rubino, seconded by Councilor Aala. There being no objection, all members shall be co-proponents of this resolution.
I move that this be approved for second and final reading, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Rubino, seconded by Councilor Aala, Catayas, and Revita. Those who are in favor, please raise your right hand.
In favor, Councilor Perez, Councilor Catayas, Councilor Aala, Councilor Rubinos, Councilor Elliot, Councilor Revita, Councilor Luis Salazar, Councilor Kaasi, Councilor Coquilla, Councilor Ong, Councilor Lemos, Councilor Wakan, and Councilor Leon. Madam President, all members present are in favor.
All members present being in favor, therefore resolution number 457 is approved on second and final reading.
Next item, Madam Chair, is resolution number 458, a resolution returning Barangay Ordinance number 28, Series of 2025 of the Sangguniang Barangay of Magupo South, Tagum City, Davao del Norte.
Councilor Rubinos is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Since all members were already given a copy of resolution number 458, I move to dispense with its reading, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Rubino, seconded by Councilors Aala and Rillion. There being no objection, therefore, the reading of its full text is hereby dispensed with.
I move for its approval on second reading, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Rubinos, seconded by Councilor Aala, Luis Salazar, and Rillion. Is there any discussion?
Discussion, Madam Presiding Officer, and for the information of this august body, as part of the criteria under the Seal of Good Local Governance for Barangay or SGLGB, the Sangguniang Barangay of Magupo South demonstrates its support for the Halina't Magtanim ng Prutas at Gulay or HAPAG program of the Department of the Interior and Local Government or DALG through the enactment of this ordinance. The said barangay community garden shall be established within the premises of the barangay compound and will be taken care of by the representatives coming from different purok of their barangay. And after the deliberation, the members of the joint committee proposed several corrections for consideration as reflected in the Committee Report. Thereafter, the Joint Committee recommended the return of Barangay Ordinance Number 28, Series of 2025 to the Sangguniang Barangay of Magugbo South for further refinement.
Okay, thank you for that, Councilor Rubinos. Proceed.
Amendments, Madam Presiding Officer, that all members present be co-proponents.
Moved by Councilor Rubinos, second by Councilor Aala, Revita, and Catayas. There being no objection, therefore all members present shall be co-proponents of this resolution.
I move that this be approved for second and final reading, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Rubinos, second by Dato Eric Perez. Those who are in favor, please raise your right hand.
In favor, Councilor Perez, Councilor Catayas, Councilor Aala, Councilor Rubinos, Councilor Elliot, Councilor Revita, Councilor Uy Salazar, Councilor Kaasi, Councilor Coquilla, Councilor Ong, Councilor Lemos, Councilor Wakan, and Councilor Rillion. Madam President, all members present are in favor.
All members present being in favor, therefore resolution number 458 is approved on second and final reading. Next item.
Next, we have resolution number 459, a resolution authorizing the City Mayor, Honorable Ricky Uy, to enter into and sign for and in behalf of the City Government of Tagum, the contract of affiliation with Tagum Doctors College Incorporated.
Councilor Aala is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Since copies were given of the said resolution number 459 series of 2026, I move to dispense with the reading of the said resolution number 459 series of 2026.
Moved by Councilor Aala, second by Councilor Catayas. There being no objection, therefore all the reading of its full text is hereby dispensed with.
I move to approve the second reading, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Aala, seconded by Councilor Elliot, Uy Salazar, Kaasi, and Rillion. Is there any discussion?
Amendment, Madam Presiding Officer.
Amendment, proceed.
In the second page, Madam Presiding Officer, in the terms of this contract that shall be in the school years of 2026-2027 and 2027-2028 June 30. I move for the amendment, Honorable Chair.
So, moved by Councilor Aala, duly seconded by Councilor Catayas. Is there any discussion to the amendment? Amendment to the amendment? Objection to the amendment? There being none, therefore, that amendment is hereby approved.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. I move that this all my fellow colleagues that are physically present will be co-proponent of the said resolution number 459 series of 2026.
Moved by Councilor Aala that all members physically present shall be co-proponents, seconded by Councilor Catayas. There being no objection, therefore all members physically present shall be co-proponents of this resolution.
I move to approve the second and final reading of the resolution number 459 series of 2026, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Aala, duly seconded by Councilors Catayas and Revita. Those who are in favor, please raise your right hand.
In favor, Councilor Perez, Councilor Catayas, Councilor Aala, Councilor Rubinos, Councilor Elliot, Councilor Revita, Councilor Uy Salazar, Councilor Kaasi, Councilor Coquilla, Councilor Ong, Councilor Lemos, Councilor Wakan, and Councilor Rillion. Madam President, all members present are in favor.
All members present being in favor, therefore, resolution number 459 is approved on second and final reading. Last item.
For the last item, we have draft city ordinance number 104, an ordinance institutionalizing the community-based and refresher training programs on slaughtering operations in the city of Tagum, prescribing its implementing guidelines, appropriating funds therefore, and for other related purposes, and creating the project management board for the slaughtering operations of the city government of Tagum, defining its mandate, powers, functions, and composition.
Councilor Kaasi is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to dispense with the reading of the draft city ordinance number 104, series of 2026.
Moved by Councilor Kaasi, seconded by Councilor Rillion and Catayas. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is hereby dispensed with.
I move for its approval on second reading, Madam Chair.
Moved by Councilor Kaasi, seconded by Councilor Coquilla. Is there any discussion?
Just a brief discussion, Madam Chair. We also have here in the gallery is our former city veterinary office. Dr. Boy Edoliantes, and our CPASDO office, Ma'am Mayan Ang, and of course, our CPASDO Supervising Labor and Employment Officer, Ma'am Hannah Agarsolo. So with this, Madam Chair, the Sangguniang likewise reviewed the draft city ordinance institutionalizing the community-based training on slaughter operations of the city of Tagum, together with implementing guidelines and funding provisions. Certain sections of the proposal were identified as needing revisions to ensure an alignment with technical standards, proper budgeting, and operational feasibility. After due review and incorporation of the necessary revisions to address technical standards, budgeting concerns, and operational requirements, the subsequent draft ordinance was found to be proper form and substance and is now deemed ready for approval. With this, Madam Chair, may I solicit a motion to suspend the rules to accommodate our guests for further evaluation and further discussion of our city ordinance, considering that all technical aspects will be discussed by our guests. With this, Madam Chair, may I solicit motion for the suspension of the rules to accommodate our invited guests. So, good afternoon to each and everyone, distinguished members, and to the listening public. I stand before you today to present the 11th regular session, letter number 1, which has been thoroughly reviewed based on our previous discussion. As we move forward with this legislation, I wish to highlight the following key points that have been incorporated since our initial discussion last December 2025. There are two reasons. First is the changes in office from the City Veterinary Office to our City PESDO. That's why our City PESDO office is also invited here in the gallery and made an ordinance to further strengthen the said operation for our slaughtering operation. This is the product of our discussion, Madam Chair. So may I request the August body for the suspension of the rules, Madam Chair.
Just make a motion.
May I solicit a motion, Madam Chair, to suspend the motion.
Moved by Councilor...
The rules, rather, Madam
Moved
Chair.
by Councilor Kaasi, seconded by Councilor Aala and Rubinos. For the suspension of the rules, those who are in favor, please raise your right hand.
In favor, we have Councilor Perez, Councilor Catayas, Councilor Aala, Councilor Rubinos, Councilor Elliot, Councilor Revita, Councilor Luis Salazar, Councilor Kaasi, Councilor Coquilla, Councilor Ong, Councilor Lemos, Councilor Wakan, and Councilor Willion. Madam President, all members present are in favor.
All members present being in favor, therefore rules are now suspended.
So with the shift from the City Veterinary Office to the City Public Safety and Emergency Services Development Office is a restructuring allowing for better coordination of service, particularly in addressing health issues, disaster management, and emergency response. That's why this ordinance, in partnership with CADAC, CEO, etc. Additionally, in order to ensure effectiveness of these changes, an ordinance was enacted to formalize the operational framework under the CPES CDO office. This ordinance provides legal backing to the office's expanded responsibilities, enhances its authority, and establishes clearer guidelines for the implementation of public safety initiative. So may I request Doc Boy to please expound the technicality of the ordinance, and later on we would also like to have Ma'am Mayan on the gallery for question hours.
Thank you very much, Councilor Kasi. My greetings to our presiding officer and members of this August body. Good afternoon, everyone. This ordinance has been planned or crafted about 2 years already. And when Councilor Kaasi, Brenny, took the cudgel of the position of his father, so iyang push ang ordinance. One thing about this ordinance is that our existing slaughtering operations training for slaughterers, for butchers, will be strengthened further. Of course, with the creation of the project management board and hopefully some financial assistance to the training, it will be further developed. It will be further strengthened with the provisions, considering that some of the provisions are purely technical in nature. It is a field of veterinarian, and I would assume that most of you has gone through all the provisions of the ordinance. I would just like to solicit questions if ever there are inquiries, technical issues about the proposed ordinance. Madam Chair.
Okay, so thank you, Dr. Edrilante. So any queries from the members? I believe there's none. Okay.
Sige.
Oh.
Sige, from the proponent. Sige, from the proponent, why is it that the operation of the slaughterhouse has been transferred to our CPESDO unit, considering that this is a technical one? And
Thank you for the question, Honorable Jem Kaasi. Actually, ang training, ang skills training man good is technically under CPSDO. And since this training, ang technicalities is more on veterinary aspects, that is why the training program was transferred to the office. Of course, dili pwede bayaan sa veterinary technical people. Naagyod gihapon ang support from our office, former office actually. So that's why this is now a collaboration of several offices in the city of Tagum. One is the CPSDO, the Setevet Office, City Economic Enterprises Office, the CADAC, and security. Yeah, of course, including is ang City Health Office. So this is now a collaboration of several agencies, several offices of the city government, and I believe that this will improve further our services to our trainees. Just a short background. Slaughtering operations started in 2007. We accepted trainees in 2007. And the deployment started in 2009, deployment abroad. And I think we all know, we are all familiar with this. And until now, it is still existing. And hopefully, more employers will be coming over to Tagum for hiring this year. Madam Chair, thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Wala na may question? Proceed. Yes, Councilor Lemos.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good afternoon to our resource person. Of course, this is first come, first served basis.
Yes, Your Honor.
And every program, we are only limited to cater 70, 75?
70.
75.
Oh.
And
75, yeah,
75.
75 participants.
And I will read section 3.1. The slaughtering operations, SLO, is open to all applicants in Tagum and other cities, municipalities. However, Tagum applicants are the priority for the training.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. So we are only limited to 75 ba to?
75.
75. Assuming, this is first come first serve policy, no? Assuming I am from other municipality, but considering that we have a provision here about first come first serve, suppose I am the fifth applicant based on this policy of the program. I am the fifth to register, but I am from somewhere else, not from Tagum. Based on this section 3.2 and section 3.1, however, Tagum are the priority for the training. How do we reconcile this? I am the first to register, but I am from, let's say, Santo Tomas.
Yes.
And
yes, Your Honor.
we have also a provision that Tagum, how do we reconcile? Because to me, this is conflicting. How do we reconcile this?
We are allocating from the 75%, 75 participants, we are allocating 80% of that 75 for Tagum Henyos.
I see 80%.
Yes, sir. And the 20% will be given to the...
Ana idere.
Yes, Your Honor.
Wala na akong mabasa tanan. I'm sorry. I thought all the while that this provision is conflicting because I am from other municipalities, but I was first registered, but I was catered last because of this Tagum. So assuming we have to comply first the 80% before the other slate will be given to others.
Ideally, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So that's
So
just
if
what
you
I'm
are the
saying.
fifth, and you will be the first of the 20%. Yes, 20%.
Okay. How do we count the 80-20? 80-20?
Yeah.
How do we count the 80-20 if the applicant, assuming the applicant is more than, let's say, 300, how do we compute in order to cater the percentage about the maximum of the 75 slot?
As what you have said earlier, Your Honor, it's first come, first serve, and the remaining group will be assigned in the next batch.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. Some more questions from the members. There being none, so I believe there are no more questions. So thank you very much for your presence. Marag, wala man mo. Dili na from the chair. From the chair. I've noticed that the appropriation is only 500,000 pesos annually. Is this enough? Enough. Okay. Dako kayo nga yes. Hindi sila gusto mas dako. Okay. Councilor Kaasi, the chair declares for a few minutes recess. Ang title lang. Ang title.
institutionalizing the community-based and refresher training programs on slaughtering operations in the city of Tagum, prescribing its implementing guidelines, appropriating funds therefore, and for other purposes. And to omit the next phrases, the creating the and the phrase and creating the project management board for the slaughtering operations of the city government of Tagum, defining its mandate, power, functions, and composition. I so move, Madam Chair.
Moved by Councilor Caasi, second by Councilors Catayas, Luis Salazar, Revita, and Rillion. Is there any discussion, amendment to the amendment, objection to the amendment? There being none, therefore that amendment is hereby approved.
Another amendment, Madam Chair, that all members physically present shall be co-proponent.
Moved by Councilor Caasi, seconded by Councilor Rillion and Catayas and Rubinos. There being no objection, therefore all members physically present shall be co-proponents of this resolution, of this ordinance.
I move, Madam Presiding Officer, that this city ordinance shall be for its approval on second reading only.
Okay, so since there are amendments, any objection, there being none, therefore draft city ordinance number 104 is approved on second reading only. Announcements. Okay. On February 5, please take note, everyone is invited. On February 5, we will have a workshop and training seminar for the full implementation of the legislative system, which will be conducted 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the AVR 4, 4th floor City Government of Tagum. So this is with the involvement of the InfoSoft, the system provider, and CIC Technology Management Office to provide us technical assistance and support during the activity. The legislative system is parang, this is our paperless system na for tracking our legislative documents. So we are invited to please join this workshop para daw kabaluta sa pamaagi. And then also, on February 19 to 21, the Vice Mayor's League of the Philippines, Davao del Norte chapter will have a seminar on quasi-judicial functions, parliamentary procedure, and budgeting intended for city, municipal vice mayors, Sangguniang Panglungsod members, Sangguniang secretaries to the Sangguniang and their legislative staff. So, I am encouraging you all to please attend kay makatunta ani. The speakers will be from the ILG, the Ombudsman, and some will be kanang secretary to the Sangguniang could also nga who are very brilliant on parliamentary rules. So, kanina atinan nato sa Davao lang ni siya. Barato ra ni 15,000 pesos. Tapos we will discuss the details later. And lastly, natay mandatory attendance karon para sa HR na nadiri ang mga taga HR. So mandatory ni kitang tanan apil ang secretariat, apil ta mga konsehal, Office of the Vice Mayor and Office of the SP Legislative. So nana sila diri, wala na muhawa kay right after the session magsugod na. Para dali ra pud ta mahuman, kauli na pud tag sayo. So that would be all. Some more announcements. Na. If there are none, so since all matters have been acted upon, and if there is no objection from the floor, the chair will now adjourn the session. There being no objection, session is now adjourned. Thank you. Picture.